wish it would have been done by now. It could have been signed into law quicker, so you could have this sort of win for labor, win for business earlier today.
I think we're moving on it pretty well. I haven't heard that specific complaint. So there's a commitment to get it done.
As far as those in the labor community, various people have different ideas on how we kind of get ourselves out of the budget hole. How significant of a role is labor and other stakeholders going to play in helping figure out what we're actually going to do from DDA?
Well, I think there'll be plenty of people all over the state that are going to be weighing in, including traditional Olympia stakeholders that have a lot at stake. Hospital Association, and healthcare clinics and cities and counties that are concerned about GAU cuts, and just about everybody who walks in my office.
Are they bringing you solid ideas though of are they telling you this is the tax we think you should raise, or this is the exemption we think you should close, or if you cut this program it won't be as terrible as if you cut this program?
No, it's generally more, here are the negative effects of cutting this program. And that's what you would expect.
Is anyone offering sacrifice? The president says it's tough time, we don't have to sacrifice. Is anyone coming to your office saying we're going to give this up?
Yes, that's happening. Some of this is happening with respect to the governor's office. So I know that certain union contracts are being renegotiated. We already saw what it was, the pilots or the ferry. Yeah, the ferry. Others are happening.
Is that what you meant when you told them today we need your help in this moving forward? I mean, was it referring to contracts, or was it referring to need your help in giving us ideas or helping sell it to the people, whatever decision we come to?
Pretty much both.
So
because I think we fairly clear there's not going to be pay increases in this budget, and that's tough for people, especially if they already were counting on them. And with prices go up every year, so in reality that means your pay goes down. Unfortunately, inflation's pretty low, so it's not going down as much as it would have been sometimes.
So a couple of weeks ago, you mentioned you figured you'd be talking to unions soon and talking about implications of the Riding Tom bill to healthcare, and talking to unions about maybe increasing the employee share state contracts. Is there anything happening with that discussion? Has that gotten substantive yet?
We're still working on that healthcare copay increase for non-represented employees and administrative exempt employees. Actually, I think I made a mistake. I think Senator Prentice ended up sponsoring that bill rather than Senator Tom. I can't actually remember.
Okay.
I think it might have been Senator Prentice that sponsored it. But yeah, we're still working on that concept, trying to work with the healthcare authority as to how soon can you program that kind of change, and what kind of budget savings would it result in, that kind of thing.
And have you got feelers out? Do you have a sense whether the unions are also open to discussing that and what they're doing with the governor and the negotiating?
I think those conversations are happening more with the administration right now.
Right. How far do you get by just freezing everything? This is something you're probably going to talk about.
You can't freeze everything. It's a completely impractical suggestion. There are so many parts of state government can literally not be frozen due to laws.
What about?
And debt service and et cetera. So a freeze is really cuts that are not specified. And I don't blame the Republicans for not wanting to specify them, but that's what it is.
Assuming though that, I think with their new, recognizing we have to acknowledge caseload, but if we just did caseload. But no, do you see that there's a lot of growth just in policy?
Just caseload is $3 billion. Mm-hmm. If you mean by caseload, students showing up in schools and colleges and community colleges, as well as patients showing up in hospitals and nursing homes and clinics, and, you know, so just with population growth and cost increases in healthcare in particular, just that is a very significant number. So
Right.
it's cuts we're talking about here when you say freeze.
Right. Well, that's what, I guess, here's the bottom line. Can you just do caseload and enough cuts to get out of it without tax increases? Or do you see that there has to be
We
more
can't even
revenue
do caseload.
without
I mean,
revenue?
we're cuts here. I guess maybe I didn't understand your question.
Does it shrink it down far enough to where you could make the cuts? I don't think you think that's true. But I mean,
No,
you know.
no. I don't see how that math adds up.
Let's have one more question.
What do you think of this proposal to increase the discretionary fee with new car purchase?
I'm not sure I know about, say it.
Yeah, there's a discretionary fee proposal that would increase the, for new car paperwork. If
It's
you're
called a document.
Oh, the document fee? Well, I need to look into it more. My understanding is that auto dealers in other states have more discretion with respect to the document fee, and that would include both Idaho and Oregon, which would be our kind of competitors if you're in a border area. And so, given the tough circumstances of auto dealers right now, I think that proposal's on the table. I can't really predict if it's going to make it or not.
You guys decided when you're gonna have your, go back to the district, have your come to Jesus talk with the constituents?
We have a cutoff from the Senate is the 12th, March 12th, which is a Thursday. So we have the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We are not going to have any floor action, and give people the opportunity to go back to their districts and have town hall meetings. So I assume most of those will take place on March 13th.
Are you gonna do that?
I am, with my House seat mates.
So by that point, will we have a better sense of what we're looking at for solutions for the budget? I mean, if you're going back to your districts, I imagine you'll have something to tell them.
We will. We believe we will also have a budget tool that people can look at online, and we'll have copies available as well for people to look at the magnitude of the cuts and look at the cost of specific programs and kind of do their own analysis of how you close a gap that large.
So in 2 weeks, we'll have a picture of how you're gonna close the gap.
Oh, I don't know if we'll have our total picture yet, but we'll have the discrete pieces of it that we're choosing from, and we'll also be able to get some feedback at these meetings about people's priorities.
So major stuff you're gonna move next week, looks like a lot of floor action.
There's a lot of floor
Yeah,
action.
those are the major pieces.
I'm gonna move stuff.
Well, there are 400 bills that got out of policy committee. They're not all going to move, so. But, you know, probably at least a fourth of those are high priority bill for somebody. So, yeah, we'll be on the floor pretty steadily until the 12th at 5 o'clock. Probably including at least one weekend day. And the Senate doesn't move quite as quickly as the House with the ringing bell, so we have to take a fair amount of time to get through the same amount of legislation.
In terms of priorities, what, the big ones that may move through? by the
All the bills connected to our jobs package and to our climate package, green jobs. And
Those will be coming out first.
I don't know about first, but I mean, those are high priorities. We'll make sure. We are trying to streamline the process a little bit in the Senate. We've gone back to an old practice called the consent calendar. And things that come out of policy without any negative testimony and without any opposition votes, we are allowing to pull into a separate calendar called the consent calendar to maybe move through those a little bit more expeditiously than we have in the past.
Transportation,
Wouldn't hurt.
next week, you think you get the stimulus?
I do. We've got it's going to be exec'd out of the Senate Transportation Committee this week. I think there is an agreement to utilize the House bill when it comes over here, but we will have already had the hearing, so we will be able to hopefully just pick it up, as they say, on the fly and pass it.
Does it go right to rules?
Or maybe even right to the floor, but if the Republicans agree, which I think they will, move it right to the floor and be able to pass it as soon as we get it from the House.
Thank you.
Thank you.